Hey everyone, welcome back. So I'm going to walk you through the end of my December daily for 2020. It was a really good project for me. I really enjoyed doing it. I had a lot of fun kind of doing some different things than I normally do. And I think that this year particularly, I tried to just play and kind of be easy on myself and have fun. I will say one of the things that I did intentionally is I mixed up things like pocket pages with out of the box pages or out of the page protector pages with symbol pages, and that really made the whole thing easier. And for next year, I think that's going to be my plan too. I will also say having some of the core pages done in advance through product play helped, but for me, it's so much about what happens each day that I'm still going to do product play. I'm still going to do the prep day because those are really cool and I really like them. I get a lot of good ideas, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to prepare in advance because I don't always end up using all of those. And then I felt like towards the end, I had these ideas, these pages that I'd worked on, and I didn't have a place for them. I didn't have a story for them. So I'm not 100% sure how that's all going to work out, but anyway, so let's get started. One of the things I did want to do, because I did go back and watch my video, and I realized that because of the glare, you couldn't really see the day 8 picture. So I just want to show it is a Snapchat of us in some funny hats. So this is one of those pages that I'm the most proud of, is this day 8. So I really liked that. So I ended on day 9 with the Star Wars, and I hope all of you have gone back and watched those 2 holiday specials since we've talked. Day 10 was our Christmas cards. So I took some old Tim Holtz grunge chipboard that I have, and I have like this whole alphabet of grunge chipboard that I bought years ago, and I used copper embossing foil, and I embossed on top of it, and then I adhered it to the back of our Christmas card. So our Christmas card we took at Thanksgiving, and then when we put the cards together, we all sat at the kitchen table and kind of put the cards together. So I have this story of what it was like to put the cards together. And I told that story in some words and then in pictures. And I really enjoy the idea of having like this memory of sitting down, all 4 of us, and putting the cards together and stuffing the envelopes and just talking about it, because it was a fun night. It was only like 20 minutes, but just the 3 of us or the 4 of us sitting down and talking was kind of fun. This is one of the things that I bought from Ali Edwards kits, this particular quote circle, and I actually bought 2 of this set because I love this quote so much. And in my mind, this is one of those quotes that can go outside of December. It says, "In the most subtle of things, may you find real joy in living, in hallways and interactions and all the world's imperfections. There are still those places where the light gets in." And my one little word this year is going to be light. So I think I'm going to take my extra circle of this, and this is going to go in the front of my one little word book too, because finding the places where the light gets in, that kind of moved me. And anyway, so this particular quote you're going to see again when you see my one little word this year. Okay, so day 11 was a date night, and actually what we ended up doing is going to this outdoor mall, and they had lights set up. And because of restrictions, I went ahead and made reservations because there's only 50% capacity and all that at this restaurant we had never eaten before, or I had never eaten it before, and it ended up being just amazing. So I told the story of us going out and just having this impromptu date night that we weren't expecting, and it was just wonderful. And then in Product Play 2, Amy Gretchen had done this waterfall technique. And I have used this multiple times since watching that in multiple ways. And it just seemed to fit here because I had all these little pictures. You're seeing here, once again, I like to mix, pockets and small tags and all of these. I had all these tags from 2019 I never used, and I'm going to use them, almost all of them, I think, this year. Then these were the small tags from 2019 also. And I just went ahead and used them as a waterfall. And I think it turned out perfectly. And I like the way this particular page turns out. On the back of the tag, I just took a full photo of the lights. I did this one in black and white just because it's on vellum and just to kind of juxtaposition of the black and white with the color. And this has the color on it. Okay, so day 12, This was in product play, but it didn't work for me the way it was. I don't have a mink, I don't do foiling, but I do have a Cricut and I do have paper. So I took the Joy, 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 I stuck them together and I cut them out as one cut file on my Cricut. And then on the back in the circles, I took I think I did Adobe Photoshop, took the O digitally and made a clipping mask to do these O's. And I told the story of how I had gotten a paint from home paint kit for John and I to do just for fun. And it was two Christmas cars carrying the Christmas tree. And I told the story and took a picture of my painting and then of both of our paintings while we were painting. And just kind of told that story. It's in a acetate little pocket here that I made. It's not necessarily the cleanest pocket, but it works and it's keeping everything together. It's stapled at the bottom, and then I tried to use this silver tape to hold it together. I know some people are concerned about silver and copper and gold, but I just use them all because, you know, nothing says Christmas like metallics. So that is the end of my first album. I don't think I'm going to put anything on the back cover. I don't think I need to. So I was able to fit 12 days in this album. I went back and forth on how to divide them up. I ended up waiting till I had everything and kind of dividing them up evenly. So let's move on to the second album. So the second album, I went ahead and took the calendar that I had from, and this is kind of sticking, from Pinterest. And I put it on the front cover of this, just with a couple of different cutouts that I had, and a couple of the things that we did this year, just to kind of a memory. I like to have a calendar there just to see the dates. Normally the calendar is much more busy. Last year my calendar had pictures and busy and all the things we did. This one is not quite as busy, as everyone can understand. And for day 13, we ended up having a day where both Jared, my daughter's fiance, and my parents had concerts that they sent us Zoom links to. And Jared is in the graduate program at Manhattan School of Music in the saxophone, and they had a saxophone concert. And my parents sing in their church choir, and they were doing the Hallelujah chorus for their church. And so I kind of told that story, that we weren't expecting it, but all of a sudden, both of them had concerts. I also had these cute little folders from Felicity Jane, and I had been wanting to use them. And I thought, you know, I've been messing with sizes this whole time. This would be a good way to get some different sizes. So I used some tree cutouts, the fa la la. Now, this was a part of one of the lessons, was to stamp fa la 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 on a page. And I kind of took just part of that, the trees and the fa la la, you know, and mixed it up. I think you can make the product play classes work for you, and this is how I did it for me. I didn't have a full page there. I did tell the journaling here. I did the journaling here, and then I have the pictures, basically pictures of my iPad. I do have the paper, says fa la la on these, on the different kind of fa la la papers, and I printed it on the back of that. I used digitals. The one thing I did want to do, though, is I know we had talked about live print in last time, and I had said, you know, it's not great, but I don't necessarily recommend it. But I did want to just give a second and show you guys what exactly it does, because I feel like, you know, maybe I wasn't clear. But there is a live print app, and you open the live print app, and then down here, you can go to Hyperphoto, and you can put it over whatever photo, and it'll turn that photo into the 15-second video that the person uploaded. So if you wanted to send a quick video that someone could look at later, that's kind of how you could do it. So it's a live print. It takes a still of the video, and you can choose the still, and then you print it there, and then underneath the photo is some technology that allows the computer to know, kind of like a QR code, what video. Nowadays, it's easy to print QR codes to put them on your videos, but if you have this device and it already prints it, you know, you don't have to upload anything, you don't have to have a URL link. You just, you know, take the video, edit it in the software, and print it directly to the printer. So I know they still sell them on Amazon. Like I said, I don't necessarily, quote unquote, recommend them, but if that's something you're interested in, I just wanted to show you what it did. Day 14 was about me wrapping presents. This is the Paige Evans wrapping presents file. I did that in Cricut. I backed it with some gold or copper and red and green, and really enjoyed that. And I did it, actually backed it with three almost full cut files, so it's got some dimension, and I like how that looks. On the back of it, I took a picture of the wrapping paper I used this year. Most of it's older paper. We had so much paper left over just because of the last couple years. I didn't end up buying a lot. I bought one roll of wrapping paper this year, and I took a specific picture of that. It was avocado paper. Put it there, but then I just have some pictures of the paper underneath the tree, or the presents underneath the tree after I wrap them. So pretty a simple story. I know a lot of people did that wrapping paper story with the pullout that Crystal did. I just didn't, it wasn't something that spoke to me this year. Maybe it'll speak to me next year, but that's what I'm saying, make the product play classes work for you. So day 15 is a story of the advent calendars. I gave my nephews advent calendars, and I don't show them on my YouTube videos. But I also gave my daughter and Drew and John, and we all had advent calendars, so I just kind of took those pictures and just showed those. This is an example of how you can do a whole page in a pocket page and have that in there, and it still goes with the flow of your album. So day 16 is kind of a funny story. I was working in my December daily on days 21, 22, and I really thought that I was caught up. I thought that I had everything up to day 22 and I was good. And I went back just to kind of flip through the album to see what I'd already done and what products I'd used. And I realized I had gone from day 15 to day 17 and I had no 16. Well, that meant I needed to figure out something for 16 and needed to kind of fit in, physically with the album. So I went to my phone and I checked what exactly had I done on day 16. Was there anything I had done? And the only picture I had from day 16 was this picture of my cat. And I don't know that you can actually see him on here because it is, he is in the dark, but he likes to sit under the tree behind the presents and kind of stare out at us. And that was the picture I had. So I decided to tell that story in a full page photo. I used just some red embellishments. I do have this Santa Claus it's the last of a Chadney, and I'll try to put her link down there. A cat Christmas set that she had. I used these Naughty or Nice, just kind of the red, and I tried to frame where he was so that your eye would go to him. And I just thought that was a fun way to use it. Then on the back, I just decided to fussy cut one of the papers I had from this year, and I don't even remember what collection this is. Somebody probably knows. I've got these little baubles from Chadney once again, and I just used them all. I just decided they look like ornaments. I'm just going to put them all on there. This is also from her, Merry Everything, Happy Always, and just did kind of a filler page. And sometimes, in order to make the flow of your album work, you just need to play. I played with some paper glaze, and I really actually love the way this particular page looks just because I think it's fun. It flows into day 17. And here's another thing. I had this circle. This is Felicity Jane. And I had the circle from Allie Edwards. And the circle from Allie Edwards was the dark gray with the constellations on it. And it just didn't fit with what I was doing. So I just traced that circle on this red paper and cut out my own circle. And it's okay to do that sometimes. Day 16 and 17 were a big snowstorm. And so I actually took from Wikipedia the words from the storm instead of writing my own journaling, and then just have a picture of what our house looked like that day. And I'm using just a paper clip and this Let It Snow die cut just to kind of hold it together. There was a lot of things I was thinking about doing with this Let It Snow die cut. I was like, let's make a tag. Let's do a lot of things that are intricate. And in the end, just making a cute little paper clip and putting it on there, it works perfectly. So day 18, and I'm going to rotate this. Day 18, my daughter graduated college. So humorously and unexpectedly, last year, my oldest graduated college as part of my December daily. And that actually changed how I did December daily because I went to Arkansas and spent a week there and did all these things. And this year, I found out at the very last minute that, I think I've made all my credits. They're going to let me graduate. Okay, I'm going to do it. And we didn't have a party. We didn't have a celebration. She didn't even walk. And it's a very different way to put it in my December daily, but we have her announcement. I have some words about how proud I was of her. And then there was no ceremony. There was no calling of names. They had a virtual PowerPoint presentation that you could fast forward through. And this is the screenshot of that. So I've got it there, and just a little Just Believe on the top, and super proud. And it's just a different, I wanted to make sure it was in my album, but last year that took up, in fact, I did a whole album for my other daughter, but this one, there wasn't anything else to document. So no pictures, or it's just a little bit different. And I think all of us that had kids that graduated in 2020 can appreciate how different this year was for our kids and for us as parents and documenters. So day 19, we still had snow again, and I still wanted to document, it's just fun to have snow in December. It just kind of brings a little bit of joy. And once again, kind of like day 16, just a full page photo. This tag from Close to My Heart and had snowflakes. I embossed in blue 19 on it. And then you'll see I've got the back of the tag is some snowflake stamping and just some short journaling on one of the tags. So day 20 is something that I really thought about long and hard. I knew that I wanted to do a 2020 year in review for my day 20 page. I just kind of knew from the beginning that that's what I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. And then I was sitting and thinking about some of the things that I'd seen on both the Facebook group and on Instagram. And a lot of people have been using clipping masks in Adobe. And I thought, wouldn't it be neat to take the big numbers from the kit and make, pictures of 10 good things and 10 bad things and 10 good things, and kind of talk about what I think my top 10 and my bottom 10 are of 2020. And so that's what I did. And started with the bottom 10. And everything from, I do live in New England, so Tom Brady leaving the Patriots at the beginning of the year was kind of a negative. I talk a little bit about Black Lives Matter. I talk about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I just generically talk about the dumpster fire that was 2020. I think we all celebrated 2020 in different ways, and we all experienced it in different ways. I think a lot of us went through some hard times. So I talked about that in 10 different things that I saw. I used one of the cork stars and said in the It'll Be Okay chipboard there. And then when you turn the page, I used the December 20. This is from Colorcast Design. And I think this was supposed to be December of 2020, but I thought the fact that it was the 20th. And then I told 10 things that were blessings or that I'm grateful for in 2020. And I think that's important. You can still see down here, Annabelle graduating is on there. We just had that. My other daughter moved closer. We walked outside. Netflix. I mean, how many of us binge watched 1,000 shows this year? So those kinds of things kind of brought us together as a family. And that's what I talked about. So this has a pullout of, on the front, it has the 10 bad things. On the back, it has the 10 good things. And I really like how that page turned out. So for the 21st, I had made this transparency a long time ago. I had played with it. I just knew that I wanted to do something about decking the halls. I had these banners, and then I let it sit and let it sit and let it sit, and it just didn't have anything. And that's when I talk about, doing things in advance. I just didn't have a time or the pictures for the story. And the 21st, I didn't have anything. So I decided to tell the story of how I had 4 Christmas trees up in the house. So I took, and I will move this more to the center, I took a piece of paper, and then I added a transparency on top, the big acetate tree. Mary, I think, was from last year, and I just had 4 trees down here. And then I took the Christmas tree. So these were 2019, the green glitter, and these are 2020. And I used those as pull tabs to pull out the pictures from the album. And I purposely cut them in different sizes, and I tried to make them all different heights so that they would go together. But so this is our real tree, and it ends up being the blue tree we have in the office. These are just some pictures of our ornaments. We had both some new burgundy and green ornaments, and then we have our classic kind of blue ornaments that we have every year. This is our big tree. This is us when we put it together. Let's see if I can fit them in there. But so as you can tell, like these all fit in. So this is the tree in the living room. And then I did tell some journaling on the back there. And then finally the tree downstairs that we have, which is kind of a purple and silver tree. So anyway, so I just told that story. I also love how this page turned out just with the different trees and pulling things out. And I like the fact that it's a little bit interactive. For day 22, so the problem I have with these acetate numbers is I can never figure out how to attach them. So I ended up attaching them with some glue, and that didn't really work. And then I used some string, but now you can't really tell that it's 22. But we just had 21, and we're going to have 23, so you know it's 22. Anyway, I told the story of doing a puzzle. We do a lot of puzzles. This was the first puzzle we did over Christmas. We have another one sitting on the table. And I just told the story of putting it together. I have the big picture of the puzzle there, and then I have just a couple of little pictures of us doing the puzzle together. Just an easy story with some journaling. Day 23, this door was featured on all over the Facebook group, and a lot of people had the door. And I knew I wanted to do it, and I knew I wanted to do 23 because that happens to be our house number. Nobody stalked me. I just wanted to have it open up. Also happened that 23rd was the day that my daughter was going to arrive, and I was going to have both the girls here. So I got a picture of them. This is the only picture I had of them together that day. But I just told the story of having it was nice to have everybody together, or my kids together. And this is the picture of us waiting for Belle at the airport. 24 is New Year's Eve, and this particular tag, I ran through my laser printer, and it stuck. And so up here, you can see it's supposed to say, and even this year we can make magic. And the and did not print because it got stuck in the laser printer. So I just I took one of the acetate pieces, and I cut it up, and I made it go on the top and the bottom to kind of cover that. And I think it's perfect. If you look real close, you can tell the word and is there, but I think it ends up framing that, and it's good. Then I have the 24. This I think is from last year, 2019's 24. On the back, I used a Tim Holtz stencil and some gold paste. I framed it with some ribbon and the stars. I just told the journaling of how one of the things that we really like to do is escape rooms, and I got this kit a couple years ago, or in 2019, I guess, called Hunt a Killer. And Hunt a Killer is a monthly subscription service where you get a box and you solve a mystery. And we were able to I saved a bunch of the boxes, and the girls and John and I sat down and we did solve the crime on the 24th. And that's very much something that we would do, is hunt a killer on Christmas Eve. So I thought that was a fun story and a fun way to do, to kind of talk about what we do. It's totally not a Christmas story. It's totally not something that a lot of people do, but it's very us. December 25th, I saw these two products, and I immediately thought, this is how I want to put them together. I just think celebrating Christmas and December 25th, and then I have a brad that says 25, and that's exactly what I wanted. Just kind of something to differentiate when we actually had Christmas. I had this Transparency of Santa Claus from 2019 that I never used. And I think one of the reasons I didn't use it is because if you put it on just about anything, you lose Santa. So what I did is I backed it with some glitter cardstock. And by backing it with glitter cardstock, you really see him. He's glittery, and I like the way that turned out. Then on the back of this, I just did another filler page that's joy and has Santa. And this is the quote from Dr. Seuss. I think it just kind of talks about what Christmas really should be. Then for Christmas Day, I just have a couple of pictures. I have the picture of me in the morning, drinking my coffee, waiting for everyone else to get up, watching the Charlie Brown Christmas special, and just that piece that you had right before the chaos. And I think that is kind of indicative as your kids get older of what Christmas kind of looks like. And then I have the chaos. For those of you that have watched my 2019 album, you'll know that the girls got each other the same gift last year. Well, it would happen again. Belle and I both got Katie the same gift or a similar gift. It was actually a escape room and a escape room game, and I thought that was funny, so I told that story. There's a couple other pictures from Christmas, but none of them are really tell a story, and I thought this one told a story, and I thought that was a good way to kind of end. I don't think I'm going to do a wrap up. I think this is how I'm going to end it, and it's just a nice memory of how we spent December. Last year I only had one album. The year before I only had one album. So having two albums this year kind of shows I did a lot more bulky things, chipboards and tags and pullouts and extra photos, and I like how that turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed December Daily. I hope you enjoyed doing it, just to kind of show you the magnitude of my albums. I will leave a link to my December 19. I think I have a December 18 walkthrough too, and I know I'll be back again. This is an album. This is a project that kind of makes me feel like December. It makes me kind of end the year on a joyful note, and this year we needed to end the year on a joyful note. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and all of those things, and come back and watch me again. I'm going to actually be doing a little bit more controlled content this year. I'm going to be in a couple of hops, so if you like that kind of thing, you'll be able to see it. And have a blessed new year, and I know that 2021 is going to be amazing for all of us. Thanks. Bye-bye.